What's up, guys? Yogizilla here in this episode 180 of HorsePLAY Live. We're gonna kick it tonight with WarChild, who's back, but dealing with the baby, new baby, brand spanking new baby. Of course, she wakes up when it's about showtime. That's life. And Beard's gonna be coming. He asked if we're starting early. I'm like, no. Technically, we're late because we should have been doing a pre-show already. I said we're gonna probably slowly ease into starting these shows a little earlier, so we're not finishing around 1 in the morning. And usually, right at when we're done, I have to be straight out because normally we'll have long conversations and go off on tangents. And next thing you know, it's 2 or 3 in the morning, and then we're all dead at work. Well, those of us that go to work in the morning. But yeah, today it's the Star Wars 40th anniversary. On this day, May 25th, 1977, Star Wars A New Hope premiered. Crazy, huh? Crazy. And I'm looking at all the little figures over the years. I remember, man. I remember when Macy's had the Star Wars figures all laid out, and I thought it was so epic. 'Cause they had the little details that are comparable to like G.I. Joe, you know. And they had their own section for it, like a huge, like cut off area with special lighting, and it was, oh man, this is when department stores used to really launch products and put on real displays, and it was just an event when a new product came out. You don't really get that anymore, and that's one of the sad things of the digital age. Is just, you know, well, let me unmute WarChild, see if he's.
Sorry about that.
Oh, there you go.
Talking about how brick and mortar is disappearing, huh?
Oh, yeah, you just got back?
Yeah.
Look at that. I had my spidey sense tingled, and I said, let me unmute him because he might be back now.
Yeah, I just got back.
You
know, it's funny you mentioned. Huh?
Did you pass off the baby?
Not fully.
Oh.
But it's funny you mentioned that, you know, what department stores used to do. Because, you know, now you got stores closing down. Like right now, H.H. Gregg, I think they're done. They closed down 200 stores in Georgia.
I can't believe they have that many stores in Georgia. That's nuts, you know, you think about it.
Yeah, but it makes you wonder, like, did anything else close down, or?
Well, the H.H. Gregg thing was their stupidity, because a few of their employees were telling me that the owners were very short-sighted. They were just doing some like borderline illegal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what they were saying. But basically, like mismanagement of the business and financial decisions and stuff. Like basically, there was no reason for them to be struggling, you know, because
wow,
they usually had the best deals on appliances, really, and a lot of electronics too.
Yeah, but at least Aaron's now, and I don't know. I think it might be a matter of time before Aaron's goes out, because they were saying that most of this stuff was getting beat up by brick and mortar. But who knows?
Well,
I mean, not brick and mortar, digital.
Yeah, the online, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, Aaron's and Reddit Center. I wouldn't worry about them because they go after a different demographic. The people that absolutely are impatient and need the stuff right away. Because, you know, and we're all guilty of it. You pay out the ads for something, you end up paying like 5 times retail. You know, you pay in installments, so you're like, oh, so now it's more affordable. I don't have to drop all that money at once. But in the long run, you're dropping tons of money. But
Yeah.
so I think Aaron's and Renner Center, they're fine.
Yeah, for now.
What's weird though is JC Penney.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about by y'all, but over here in Augusta, they're selling appliances now. I'm like, what?
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, especially since they're so close to Sears. Plus, you got the JCPenney outlet, which I don't remember if they sold appliances or not, but they try to sell everything.
Yeah, I think of JC Penney. I always felt JC Penney was like the poor man's Macy's. But I never really pictured them for appliances. But and also I thought they were struggling, so for them to like actually expand their offerings, that's kind of encouraging. Even though I'm not a JCPenney person.
Yeah, I guess if they can get that money from anywhere, they might as well do it.
Yeah, I mean if a business if businesses add to their offerings, that's always a good sign. If they start like closing down departments and trimming down the shelves, like now in our Sears, the electronics department is a mere fraction of what it used to be. It's pretty sad. Cause they actually
I
had
can
a
believe that.
nice electronics department, but yeah, what can you do? And and really for that kind of stuff, it is nice to do retail because you get to actually look at the stuff, touch it, play with it a little bit.
That's true. But everything's so Amazon focused, or you know, Walmart, Amazon, overstock, and what is it, 6 p.m. I mean, it's just everything else is so focused on other stuff.
Overstock fell off hard though. Overstock used to be the shit. But now Overstock's entire business model revolves around selling shitty, like knockoff products. But then their prices aren't even that competitive anymore. They used to have amazing deals. I remember when like the portable DVD players were all the hype. Everybody was selling them like $100, $200, or if you wanted one for your car or more. And they had a really nice one for like I don't know $40. I was like, damn. I don't care if it's not Sony. I'll take Kobe.
Yeah, it worked.
But
That's all that matters.
now, like they'll sell the knockoff, and then like it might be more expensive or just slightly cheaper. It's like, huh? What's the point? They're like peddlers of junk. I don't know. I used to love Overstock.
They still they still make money off of that junk.
I guess they gotta be doing well if they're still around, but they used to be amazing. Now they're like, I don't know. Maybe I'll give them another shot because they had like that thing before Amazon Prime did the yearly sub. They were doing it, and I had it for a year, and then I took advantage of it, for that year. But then I slowly started seeing they didn't really have much variety. It's like there's no point. It's more like what was it say? The Overstock is just kind of good if you want to buy gifts or just do random shopping. But if you have very specific things that you want, that's probably not the best place to go.
Yeah. But I'll tell you one thing, man. The one thing I really miss that's being changed by online is the collaborations between different companies. So, like, for example, you had Mark Echo and it was Bungie back then before it's 343. But Mark Echo and Bungie, they combined together to make like some Halo themed clothing, and it was actually pretty good to the point where like I bought a jacket for like maybe 30 or 40. It's a good price, especially since it was a discounted. But now that same jacket, if you look for it, it goes anywhere between $70 to like $100 something. But they don't do that anymore for some odd reason. I guess it's because they wanted to change who they catered to. I guess they wanted to cater to a more quote unquote serious audience or something. I don't know.
But yeah, and I do like Echo. They make good quality clothes.
Mm-hmm.
That's like one of my favorite kind of urban fashions.
Yeah, but it just sucks that they did that because I'm like, well, dang, And plus, it's all like it's almost like it's all MMA stuff now. You know, MMA is cool, but you know, I don't want to walk down the street having everybody thinking, "Oh, he's an MMA fighter." You know, I'm 6'2" with dreadlocks. You know, I'm not trying to portray that image. I'm not trying to fake the funk.
The people will think you're a poser because like so many like the tap out shirts. They look nice. They have nice design, but it's like, damn, I feel kind of cheesy wearing this because like this guy's a poser. Look at him, this tap out shirt.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like you can't really wear that shirt unless you're actually following in the footsteps of MMA or something, or MMA fighters. But yeah, you know, it's
kind of exercise.
Yeah.
It's like if you're wearing a tap out shirt and all you're doing is sitting down eating some Cheetos and drinking a Mountain Dew, you're like, damn. This is not line up.
Gonna tap out of them Cheetos.
Well, hey, this has been a good pre-show, but I think we should get started. Cause I'm gonna see if we can wrap it up a little early so you can get back to the baby, and I could get some kind of sleep. You ready to do this?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and stay here, but you know, the baby might need my attention sometimes. But we're gonna do it again.
Well, if you got dip, you know, you mute it or you step out, you know, whatever you gotta do. If you got dip, you gotta dip. You know, I get it.
I'm a dip, but I ain't gonna dive.
My God. By the way, the mixing setup is all hose, so you won't hear the music. So it's gonna be an awkward silence for you.
It's all good.
Let's give you a heads up. But here we go. Intro music and all that.
Hi, this is Normie from Knuckleballer Radio and Zombie Cast, and you're listening to one of my favorite shows on the Geeky Antics Network. Don't forget to check out the rest of the gang over at geekyantics.net. Warning, there might be rants and food ahead and possibly inappropriate behavior. Don't tell anybody though.
Welcome, geeks, gamers, furries, and ninja robots. This is HorsePLAY Live. Today is Thursday, May 25th, and this is episode 180 of HorsePLAY, tentatively titled Friday the 26th and Star Wars the 40th. Yeah. That's a lazy title. That's why it's very tentatively. But I'm your Paul the Bear Lizard host, Yogizilla, and we got our old friend is back, one of our main host that hasn't been around for a while because, you know, life happens. You know, usually at this point we talk about what the show's about. You know, about all stuff geeky. You know, video games, movies, TV shows, and all that good stuff. Hobbies. You know, and I want to just let you know that we do this show live over at twitch.tv/Geeky Antics every Thursday night, 11 p.m. Eastern, at 8 p.m. Pacific, and 4 a.m. GMT. And early in the day, you can catch our reruns over at allgames.com. But without further ado, let's introduce our old friend who's back, hopefully to stay this time, WarChild.
He's about to call me an old fart.
Old fart, was I? Maybe.
I think so. Greetings. Thank you for having me back. Still the ultra charismatic ninja dad who is holding it together. All grizzled and whatnot.
Word. We're gonna have Cupcake come back tonight as well, but she's going through her own stuff, and then I feel kind of bad insisting. She's like, "Oh, just remind me," but like, I'm not gonna keep pestering you about it when you got like stuff going on in your life, you know.
And that's the truth, man. It's like it feels like this whole month has been like that for almost everybody.
Yep. Hopefully June will be better. Actually, there's a lot of good stuff coming up in June, so I'm actually pretty excited. And you know, really, E3 is not amongst those things. I mean, you know, E3's cool, but it's not one of the things that has to be pumped, though.
Okay. Tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, I've never really been to E3 before. like to go, but I don't know why. It just seems like it's just kind of slowed down, you know? Like it doesn't have that same oomph behind it.
Yeah, I don't think they've really hyped this one up. And then, to be honest, I feel like E3 is not really for the gamers anymore. It's more for the investors to let them know, hey, we got big stuff going on, get that hype going. But I don't see it as a fan event. I see it more as a press event. It's a business kind of thing, which people will say, well, but they frame it like, they're showing the gameplay and all that stuff. Like, yeah, that's true, but that's just some grandstanding. It's not really for the fans. I don't know. That's just the way I feel about it now.
I think it's mainly because they're trying to make everybody some sort of gamer now. You just don't. You don't have that exclusion. It doesn't feel as eclectic as it used to.
Yeah, it doesn't have that. It feels like it just lacks soul.
Yeah, or geekiness.
Yeah,
it's pseudo geekiness. It's just oh yeah, we do this stuff. We like the gaming stuff and everything. Yeah, come on out, come watch us. It's like, really? Yeah,
it's really by the numbers too. Like a lot, it's like so many of these people are just playing little sizzle reels instead of actual gameplay. Or then they play stuff and then they're like, yeah, let's not pre-render this in-game, in-engine. It's like, so much marketing crap, deception and everything. And I don't know. It's just, and then just so many of the presenters just do it by the numbers. Like, you could pretty much predict everything that's going to come out. Like, there's rarely anything that makes you go, well, mind blown. People say, oh, but look at that new hardware. It's like, yeah, but like when it comes to hardware, that's a given that it's going to get better each time. But it's so marginal at this point that it's like, like if you jump, like the older generation, when you jumped from like, Super Nintendo to like a N64 or from Sega Genesis to Saturn, stuff like that. Those were jumps where you really just saw the difference. Like, whoa, like, now the jumps in the hardware it's like, And people can say all they want, like, oh, but look at all this high resolution and blah blah blah. You can see the difference. Like, yeah, I don't think that's. I feel they focus it too much on that, and they need to think more about the games, the experiences that they're creating.
That's why I always said I'd rather deal with the game that's got a better storyline than, a game that's just kind of, the graphics are so intense. Like, I still don't want to buy Mass Effect. I mean,
we'll get into that. That's part of the news tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The never-ending pooping on Mass Effect continues. Though I'm gonna get it. I just don't have time to game right now, so it's like, why buy? So it'll just sit there and just make me feel bad. Like, I really want to get to it.
Yeah, I hear you.
But
I
want to say real quick that our pal Stan Faryna, who's in the chat right now, just came out with a new book, and I have a copy here, but of course my webcam's not working, so you can't see it. So I'm gonna try to read you the title. It's probably the least friendly audio podcast title, because I'm gonna say this title and people will be like, how do you spell that? But if you look up Stan Faryna, that's probably easier. And if you don't know how to spell Stan, I can't help you. But Faryna is Faryna, N is a Nancy, and the book is called Franceso Augustine Bernadone, or Bernadone, if you want to spell it, say it phonetically. And it's called A Brief History of Our Tomorrows. It's a quick read, nice big font, nice paperback. And I like the cover on it. This is how eclectic Stan is. He's got like this on the front cover. He's got like this very distinctly kind of like Greek, perhaps Roman architecture. Some like black ops dude in the back with a gun, and like some guy that could be giving Bob Vila a run for his money in the beer department, about to like make out with this girl, and then like some like I don't know would that be Korean characters in the front?
He's saying it's the Trevi Fountain in Rome. Or Trevi.
Oh, it's the famous one. Bob is the boss. It's such a freaking. You said eclectic earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Everett, this is eclectic. So this tells you when you look at this cover, you see the way the Stan's mind works, and then in the back, this is great. Like he's got a little like ticker tape on the top of the back cover, and it says love, money, hope, loot, zombies, future, MMO. He's got the SEO in there.
You should put that in the chat, man.
Oh yeah, Korean on the left. So I was right about the Korean. Oh yeah, I forgot there's Japanese in the lower right. Yeah, I reckon there's Japanese. So yeah, I'll type it in there, and I'll put the link up on our Facebook, facebook.com/Geeky Antics. We'll probably drip it in there, maybe some little excerpts, which I'm sure Stan will kindly supply. So it's Franceso Augustine Bernadone. I'm saying Bernadone. Bernadone! You done, Bernie.
Don't remind me of the election.
Oh, damn.
That's so wrong.
That was an unattended...
That's so wrong.
Unattended effect there. Poor Bernie.
You're so wrong. You're just wrong. You know you're wrong.
Oh wow! I just wrote a brief histories of our histories. It's a brief history of our tomorrows. There you go.
Like whose history? Superman's history, or
a history of our histories? It's just like a recursive search. Anyway, the back cover, it's got your usual
time paradox.
It's got your usual what you call it reviews, right? And it's got a couple of people that I recognize, a few people I recognize. I read Normie Latte's review. She's the co-host of ZombieCast, the official internet radio show of the Zombie Research Society. You can check them out at allgames.com, of course, and of course zombiecast.net. She says, Mr. Faryna gives us an exquisite montage of sci-fi. Ooh, exquisite montage. I like that.
I knew you was going to like that.
Sci-fi. Exactly. Montage! Romance and spiritual depth in a very fascinating world. Gaming slurs into real life. Lines get crossed. And in the end, we hope to find the true winner. In this book, I remember reading an old draft. A little excerpt before, and it reminded me a lot of like more fleshed out Log Horizon or Sword Art Online. So if you're into that kind of thing, or maybe even .hack if you prefer, and if you're into that kind of stuff, I think this is a very good read. But of course, Stan, he likes to go deep, so what you see on the surface. Got him. But yeah, there's
anything less is uncivilized.
There's a lot beneath that surface. You gotta dig deep. So I haven't read the whole thing yet. This is probably my weekend reading, and I suspect there'll be a lot of hidden meaning and innuendo. For some reason, Stan likes to talk about penises a lot. I don't know what's up with that.
No, it sounds kind of familiar, like somebody else I know.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Sexy voice included.
See that? I'm making sure he's paying attention. He says, "Lol." I'm kidding. It's not true at all. He's pretty straight edge, except for when we're hanging out together. I get him to cuss like a sailor. Otherwise, he's like really like straight edge. I'm a bad influence. Love you, Stan. But some
giggles. I'm sorry. I'm like, I've never heard myself laugh like that before. Ha ha ha. Okay.
I don't know who this Tomar guy is. Tomar is a bad Tomar. That means that's the Spanish word for taking. So taking is a bad influence? I guess it is.
Sounds like a pimp.
Tomar, that could be a pimp. Yo, Tomar said I had to pay up, so I need to up my rates. It's 3 times as much if you want to put in the butt. Any kind of butt stuff is 3 times the standard rate.
200 per cheek. I'm just saying.
That's called the coast to coast rate.
Oh my god.
Moving on before we alienate our listeners any further.
What's he talking about? Don't worry about it.
This is a good segue to say, meanwhile, back at the ranch,
Timmy.
Let's talk about what else has been going on in real world, in real life. I wanted to mention before I forget. So Supernatural, I just heard, so might be the last season, so there likely won't be a season 13. But 12 seasons, that's a good run.
Yes, that's a pretty good run.
Yeah, pretty good. It's pretty good. Not bad.
I mean, it's very rare for a show to do that. Go 12 seasons.
Shit.
Very rare.
If you go 5 seasons, that's an accomplishment in itself these days.
I mean, it's not even a Star Trek show. That's saying a lot.
Yep. So that's that, and then I haven't been watching much TV lately. I'm kind of back to my old ways where I'm just kind of trying to focus on work and personal projects and work-life balance, family and all that good stuff, and trying to get some kind of sleep in the middle of it all, right in the midst of it all. But I keep hearing people talking about American Gods, and yes, I know it's a book, and I know probably the book is 100 times better. But I'm watching the show because
I am curious about that. I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm really digging it. It's how obtuse Legion is, or Preacher, or The Leftovers. Like those. I know they're very different shows that you probably wouldn't compare otherwise, but how these shows they kind of pique your curiosity and they give you very little answers. And I guess a lot of TV shows seem to be heading in this direction, but these shows in particular, they don't hold your hand, and you're kind of just along for the ride. It's all about the journey, but you're not gonna really get much closure or answers, at least not right off the bat. And this show is very much that. Like, it's gory, it'll piss you off, and you're like, I want some kind of like resolution to make me feel better about what the characters are going through. And you get some stuff like this good. I really like the dialogue. Like, the dialogue, I think is pretty smart. And I like the little moments where they lighten things up with some some witty dialogue. So it does keep it pretty balanced. Whereas if you watch something like Leftovers is a very heavy show, and that show will make you depressed. But it's such a unique show that you want to keep watching and see what happens next, and see if you eventually will get some answers. But man, it's like that Leftovers is rough. This is a little easier, but still, like, if you have a weak stomach and gore and gratuitous sex and nudity, if you have a problem with any of those things, probably not the show for you. And this is a Stars original, by the way. You were talking about Stars earlier on the pre-show, remember? What would you say something about Stars?
I was talking about brick and mortar places. I didn't say anything about Stars.
No, that's earlier with another friend. My bad.
Oh.
Everything's merging together.
Feeling so important now.
No.
That other guy talked about better things. Like,
I tried to call you a few times. I don't know if you saw.
I got your number. It would have showed up unless your phone number changed.
No, man, it hasn't changed since before 9/11.
That's interesting. I'll check.
Yeah.
I ain't seen nobody.
I don't remember if I left you a voicemail the last time. Yeah, I definitely left you a voicemail. In fact, I called you and Derek. And I was like, yo, what's up, bro? Where you been? Yeah, I left your voicemail. I know I did.
Let me check my phone.
Ah.
I ain't got no calls from Yomar. I know.
I
No, I
call.
got your phone in my phone.
I definitely
Why do I
call.
sound so old right now? My voice and my speech, my just vocabulary right now just sounds really old. I'm saying all these like old guy jokes and everything. It's like, you know.
It's because you're a dad now. You're developing the dad humor.
It's not even dad humor. It's like
It's already
it's like,
settling in, man. And you're gonna start making. You're gonna identify really bad puns and take advantage of them, and you're gonna start getting to knock jokes and all kinds of stuff. It's gonna happen.
oh Lord, I
Welcome
ain't
to the
got time for
club.
that. Ain't got time for it. Oh, excuse me.
So Beener has said he had a couple of things come up, and he'll be here in like 17 minutes. We'll be wrapping up the show by then. Nah, I'm kidding. Nah, we got a good half. I think we got a good half hour or so at least.
What day did you call?
No, I don't know. Everything's a blur. Don't expect me to have any concept of time.
Check my voicemail. I don't even know what's going on anymore. I'm lucky just to remember my own name. Hang on. Speaking of which, to be continued. Stand by.
Oh no. Say, American Gods. What can I tell you about it without spoiling it? Yeah, I can't really say too much without giving it away. Huh. So the show starts off with a convict that's finally getting out of jail, out of prison rather, and reconnecting with his loved ones. But he starts to get some really wicked dreams, and he gets like this feeling like something's amiss, and then everything goes to shit. I don't know if I can say more than that without really giving it away. Like, I know this is the first episode, and you definitely give it a shot. I could tell you it's not for everyone. I know a bunch of people that don't like it, but it seems like it's definitely polarizing because people either really love it or they hate it. I had a few friends say it was too slow, and I guess it's because again, the pacing is fine. It's just that a lot of things are happening in each episode. You see a lot of different scenes and different characters doing different things, but you're not gonna get your answers. You're not gonna get your satisfaction in the way you might be used to. So that's something to keep in mind. I think it's good. I think it's worth a look-see. Give it a shot. I would like to hear what you think. So if you happen to check it out, send us your thoughts on American Gods or anything really at mail@geekyantics.net, or leave us a voicemail or text at 646-801-2149. Again, 646-801-2149, and that is a US-based number, so long distance charges or international rates may apply. I'm talking about American Gods, the Starz original show. I guess it's trying to compete with. Honestly, this show looks like it might be trying to compete with Game of Thrones. I could see it filling that space quite well, so that's what makes sense to me. But anyway, maybe we'll talk about it some more next week. Yes. It's hard to keep up with the TV. But maybe you could read the book or books. I don't know how many there are. Stan, and let us know what you think about the book. 'Cause I hear that it's some good stuff in there. But it happens so much, and I think the main reason the books are better than any adaptation you'll ever see is because if you have a good imagination, what you make up in your head is going to be better than anything anyone could put on screen. Because what you make up in your head is kind of what you're inclined to and kind of what you want to see and imagine. You know. Now, if you don't have a very good imagination, then I don't think that holds true. Now, I see Chris Gannon, aka Destination of Gaming Death podcast, playing Heroes of the Storm. Figures. Now that I haven't been doing much gaming, everybody's getting back into Heroes of the Storm. We need to get into that game. If you play that game, add me, Yogizilla, hashtag or pound 1722. That's Yogizilla pound 1722 on Blizzard's gaming service, Battle.net. So we could play that. It'll probably mainly be weekends, because then on the evenings, I'm just beat or just focused on other stuff. See Tire Claws getting in. I see Racing John. A few people here in the chat. Hello, everybody. So let's move on. This is WarChild not here at the moment. We're not going to talk more about our weeks. We're going to jump right into our obligatory news and rants. And on the top of the news, Friday the 13th, which is basically just a refined Dead by Daylight. Remember that game? Releases tomorrow, Friday the 26th. Kind of a weird release date. So, if you're watching us, if you're live now with us in about a half hour, it'll be playable on all platforms. So I think PC is already jumping in. And Dead by Daylight is actually releasing on consoles on June 20th. That's kind of unfortunate timing, because it looks like Friday the 13th is a lot more refined, and it's got more polish, it's got more better balancing. And I wonder how they're going to address the whole thing, because, when you got these 4v1 or 8v1 kind of scenarios, a lot of times, or if you have a game like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, a lot of times you have players that will get on comms on their own, and then kind of party up unofficially like that, or create a party ad hoc and then kind of bully other players. So, I wonder what they're going to do to kind of stop that kind of stuff. Because these kind of games, people tend to farm players like that, the randoms, and it kind of ruins the experience. Sega and Platinum Games has a hidden gem coming back, and I think it's a hidden gem. It's a game that a lot of people missed, and I think was actually quite good, but it released kind of in a tough time. I think this game released around 2006, 2007, and that game is Vanquish. It's finally getting a PC release. I never finished the game, but from what I did get to play and watch of it, it's something eventually I would like to get back to, like Binary Domain and Alpha Protocol. Those little niche Sega jammies and cult classics, Gotta give love to that. Mass Effect development is on hiatus, and a lot of analysts and journalists are kind of saying they kind of feel that, and I tend to agree. They're saying that it doesn't have much to do with the sales of the game. Because the sales have been fine, but EA is never satisfied, so that's a whole different thing. But they're saying it's probably likely due to the fact that BioWare has been bumping heads with their EA parent company, and I know they've fired a bunch of people, and they put a stop to a bunch of BioWare projects, and Mass Effect is kind of the collateral damage. And I still say, I know that those of us that like Andromeda are in the minority, but I really don't see why people made such a big deal about Mass Effect's dropping quality, or supposed alleged drop in quality. What can you do? So you won't be seeing any patches or add-ons or anything for that in a while. Kind of a shame. I still want to get it. Because I like the multiplayer and I was enjoying the campaign, the trial. I'll probably just milk the trial until it runs out and finally say, I'm going to buy it. But I made up my mind. I mean, what else is really coming out right now, honestly? That show that people are talking about. Actually, before I jump into that, it's still some more gaming stuff, so that kind of keep it together. Square Enix, they're looking to sell Hitman developer IO Interactive. So here's another company that they're never satisfied, because the last Hitman game actually did really well. It was really profitable, and by them releasing it episodically, they got a good residual income stream. And what's interesting is the way financials are handled for gaming companies in particular. Excuse me. So if you have a game that hasn't released yet, and there's a bunch of pre-orders, if you don't release within that quarter, that could be seen as a liability, right? This is part of the reason we see a lot of games rushed out before they're ready. They were talking about this over at B Team, and it's just basic accounting stuff that if you're in business, you kind of figure it out. Or honestly, it's probably really common sense too, but people don't really think about that angle. But when you do the episodic games, right, I think it puts companies in a better position to organically expand a project and develop a residual income stream. So I'm okay, depending on the type of game. I think it's okay to have a 3 to 5 part game and price it out cheaper per unit. There's something there, like imagine you get a game, like, and I'm kind of thinking out loud here, but let's say there's a game that has an extensive campaign, but also has a really good multiplayer. So for let's say $10-20, you get the full multiplayer game and the first third of the campaign. See, that's a good model. And then the rest of it is dripped out. But see, the scale of that might be too much for episodic. So it has to be more small maps and game mode additions, a true organic development to make sense with the episodic stuff. The more I think about it, because then it could be something where we didn't make enough on this, and we're not going to release any more content for that game, or we'll wait till the demand picks up. That might be more sustainable, because these game studios and just programming jobs as a whole, they're pretty high turnover, because you'll get projects and they'll staff up, and then when the project's done, it's like, whoops, sorry, we can't afford you. Kind of a shame, which is why I have my education, my degree in computer science, and I went the IT track, so no regrets there. I love programming, but to make a career out of it, I don't think I'm ready for that. I'll just do jobs on the side. I'm okay with that, and pet projects. So back to the show I was going to talk about. 13 Reasons Why has gotten renewed for a second season, which is interesting, because I thought the whole show was based around learning why this girl committed suicide. So if we get that resolved in season 1, what will be next? And now I'm really curious about this show, because there's been so much controversy surrounding this show. Schools advising parents not to let their children watch it, or if they do, to have certain conversations with them. It's really interesting. Some people were saying that it was glorifying suicide, but if the whole show makes you feel uncomfortable with the pain and suffering that takes place, then how's that glorifying it? But I guess it's one of those things where, for a while, I think there's an ebb and flow of society, at least in the U.S., where there's progressive thought and then there's conservative holding patterns, right? And the notion of suicide is something that people normally aren't very comfortable talking about. So and it's kind of like, hey, we're okay with violence, but when it comes to sex, ooh, no, that's not. Let's sweep that under the rug as if we're some kind of genital-free creatures that don't ever have any physical desires. It's so weird. Nobody's. What's up, bro? So yeah, that's getting renewed. I'm really curious. I want to at least watch one episode, and I'm scared that I'll get into it and then try to binge watch it and suffer at work. You know, sleep deprivation, all that. But yeah, another show is coming. Actually, this is a Netflix original apparently, and they just released a trailer for a Castlevania anime inspired show. And I like what I saw so far. I especially liked how they incorporated the NES in there as like a monitor to kind of introduce everything. That's pretty cool. So definitely check out that trailer. I think it's gonna be a good show, and hey, keep Castlevania going, because we may not ever get another video game, but I'm sure there'll be stuff like it, right? I'm doing okay. How you doing, Robbie? By the way, if you guys are wondering why I keep talking to myself, it's because we do this show live, and we have a chat room. Well, we have two chat rooms actually. Discord, which is at geekyantics.net/Discord. Again, geekyantics.net/Discord. And then we also have the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/geekyantics. What else we have here? I'm actually going through this pretty fast. It might very well be a very short show. Because this show, that usually we have 2 or 3 hosts and maybe a couple of guests. This show's format is not suited for solo. So I apologize in advance if I'm boring you to death. I'm trying to keep it interesting. So Beam is now Mixer. Interesting change in the branding. They with the change in the name, they introduced a streaming guide, co-streaming, and some other goodies. And Robbie's going to Comic-Con. No work today. Nice. Comic-Con in the UK, that is. Where is it? Is it in London? Or I forget what you showed me. I think you showed me the flyer. My brain is mush right now. Now, we already talked about Star Wars turning 40. So that's probably a big deal today in Comic-Con. And now we all feel really old. No, there's Beard just getting in. WarChild was here, but he was tending to the baby. He just stepped out. Of
course he did.
There you go, just in time. I was about to start wrapping up.
Nah, you don't get to wrap up yet. Not until we talk about a Seaman sequel.
I saw that. And when you posted on Discord, I was like, what? Actually, did you see the Castlevania trailer for Netflix?
Yes, I did.
What did you think
about it? The only thing
I
saw for the Castlevania trailer made me... I was like, I need to go watch Vampire Hunter D again.
I was going to say the same thing. Vampire Hunter D or... What are some other good?
This looks real cool.
What are some other good?
Bloodlust was even better.
Yeah, Bloodlust. What's Blood Plus? I know we're missing some big ones. There's a lot of good vampire anime now that I think about it. I can't think of it
it's
now.
not vampire anime, but Wolf's Rain was real good too.
Yeah, I think you put it up there.
Keeping in the supernatural realm.
Yeah. Then when you start talking about that, you start delving into things like Witchblade, you know?
Witch Hunter Robin.
Ooh, wow.
That was another good one.
Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was alright.
That was alright, okay. But that's an older one, so it wasn't the best, but it deserves a little mention.
Yeah.
Little swizzle swazzle.
Yeah.
I think WarChild just tapped in. Was that his feedback?
That's just the baby trying to chime in.
Ah, okay. So yeah, Seaman, you know, that made me very happy just because I have a soft spot for Sega, and
That game was so insane.
I love it.
It was just absolutely bizarre. Here, I'll throw it in. I'll throw it in the regular chat for everyone who's here. Yeah, if you didn't play Seaman, then you didn't own a Dreamcast.
Yeah, that was like the premier game to have for that.
It was that and Phantasy Star.
Yeah,
Like, those were the two games that pretty much shipped with the Dreamcast.
but at least Fantasy Star got ported. Seaman
They brought
died
that
with
everywhere.
Dreamcast. Yeah,
Which is a shame because with the Xbox Kinect and the PlayStation Eye, that would have been perfect for that game.
Oh, I
But-
just saw this last piece of news you put in there.
Oh, which one? The new Dragon Age that they're working on?
Yeah, that's good, and especially on the heels of what I just talked about with EA being dildos.
EA getting rid of everyone that made Mass Effect? Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
Man, that's what happens when a game isn't good.
Yeah, but you know, EA standard of success is pretty unreasonable. We didn't make
If the
$1
game
billion.
had done- if the game had done as well as Mass Effect 3, they would have kept the guys around and they would have supported it longer. But it didn't do well because they did a shitty job and didn't back down from the fact that they did a shitty job.
And I saw about how some of the reasons for games being rushed out is because they want to make their quarterly report look better for investors, you know, shareholders. But on the flip side, you
Rockstar
have.
doesn't give a fuck about that.
See, I was just gonna say because you had that up there.
Yeah.
They did
Yeah,
later.
Rockstar doesn't give.
Yeah.
How long did they postpone GTA 5?
That
That came out on the 360 and PS3.
Wasn't that
and
like
they-
a 7-year development roadmap or something crazy like that?
Something like that, but they dragged their feet so hard bringing that to PC.
Oh yeah, the port itself was
Yeah.
and that
They
game's
dragged their
still
feet forever.
that game's still going strong. You still find it at full price in a lot of places. Like it's
Because
crazy.
it's a good game and it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because they haven't stopped supporting it.
Yeah, that's the thing, the support, because their launch was pretty ass-tastic too. People forget about that.
Well, when the game becomes good, or when it's a good game, people forgive a bad launch.
Yeah. Well,
With the launch itself, people saw the potential that was there. And they're like, okay, this can become something much better than it is. We see what they're working towards. On the flip side with Mass Effect, they put out garbage. Everyone was like, this is crap. Fix it. And they were like, no, this is what we wanted. And then they backed down.
we wanted everybody to have butter faces.
We wanted everyone to look like they're 5'2". We wanted the proportions to be weird. Yeah.
I don't know why, but like, I mean, it doesn't bother me as much as everybody else, but it does, like, when you see like the cutscenes, it feels like you're watching like a Disney movie, but under the influence of drugs. Like it's just like you're just tripping really hard. Like whoa.
Yeah, it's like a low quality. It's like the B tier animated movies, like below DreamWorks.
So like Titan AE maybe.
Not
Remember?
even that level.
Damn. I actually like Titan.
that.
I like Titan AE.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That one wasn't terrible. We got to find something terrible to equate it to, like
Heavy metal.
an art school,
I'm
projects
kidding. I'm
on
kidding.
YouTube.
Heavy metal's awesome. I'm being a dick. But
yeah,
trying to
with
think of something. I don't know. I can't think of anything.
with the Red Dead Redemption 2 being delayed, I don't know why anyone's surprised, and B, why anyone would be upset by it.
I don't
Because they're people.
I'd rather the game be delayed and come out solid than them push it out and it's awful.
Agreed.
Or horribly unfinished.
Agreed. Highly agreed.
Yeah. I think everyone can agree with that.
Yeah. It's not, and again, it's not like I hate listening to podcasts or reading stuff where people are like, "Oh, it's a gaming drought again." It's like there's plenty of stuff to play. Like I don't have that problem. If anything, I wish I could magically complete all the games that are sitting on my wall of shame, but I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah. I've never had a problem with finding a game to play. WarBaby's making an appearance.
Sorry.
Hi, WarBaby.
Everybody saying hi. Say hi. All right, that's one way to say hi.
Aw, someone's being the cranky pants. Wait, what is it? Someone's having a case of the Mondays, right? But it's not Monday though.
Every day is Monday.
Did you see that Destiny 2 isn't going to be doing dedicated servers?
Oh
yeah,
my
I'm
God.
a little upset about that. But I thought that was just a repeat. So is WarBaby. I'll be back.
All right. That's fine.
She leveled
I know
up.
that struggle.
She leveled up. She got the red mushroom. Run. Yeah, that's you know, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. You know, I'd be okay like with a game where the multiplayer is at the heart of it. You know, you have to do a yearly access pass for dedicated servers, out of something, but not having dedicated servers as an option, that just freaking, it makes no sense to me.
I mean, look at let's just go back a couple of years. When MAG came out on the PS3, they had dedicated servers, and they managed to pull off 256-man battles.
Yep.
Why isn't that the norm? That should be the gold standard at this point.
Well, especially a game like Destiny where it's all about multiplayer, and they're developing a platform that they're gonna keep. They're talking about, remember how they always talked about, new content daily and blah blah blah, and really it wasn't much of that. It's like, we just
It wasn't.
Swapped.
It wasn't
new
around. Content.
Yeah.
It was the Nightfalls and the daily missions, which were the same missions that you did before, just
it was
slightly harder.
Just had it on a playlist, but they made it seem like they were gonna have GMs walking around the world and initiating events. It's like, no, it's all freaking automated. Like, stop! You're not even pushing out updates.
And with how heavily they emphasized on the PvP with the Crucible and all that.
Oh God!
With competitive PvP, you need dedicated servers. That way you're not beholden to one host's internet connection.
Yep. And then the exploits that come with that.
Rainbow Six is doing that. Rainbow Six is going to dedicated servers away from the host, the single host setup.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, that's something that Ubisoft can be proud of for once.
Yeah, they're investing a lot into that game.
Which is surprising because it's never been a star game. It's been a slow burn since it came out.
Yeah.
Which good for them. I mean, if I were making a video game, I'd rather it stick around for a while and never actually sit at the top as opposed to a game like Conan Exile or whatever it was that was hot for a minute and then gone.
Yeah. Dead by Daylight was another one like that. And it's tomorrow.
Because Dead by Daylight never really
fixes bugs.
Fixed its issues. That was the thing.
Yeah, its issues
exactly...
and the balancing mainly.
Which is why Friday the 13th is probably going to end up. I don't think it's going to end up in that same boat. I think you're going to see the same thing with H1Z1 and Battlegrounds, where H1Z1 was really the first one doing the Battle Royale thing, but not fixing their bugs and not listening to the players' complaints. And then Battlegrounds comes in and is actually actively working on what the players complain about.
Okay, take two.
No, we've all been there. We know.
You don't have to. You don't have to cry, WarChild. It's all right.
That's not my cry. My cry is a lot more wimpy. That's Blake's.
Your soul gets sucked out. You just become wimpy. On a random note, my male cat, he's like this huge freaking beast. But then when he rarely meows, he purrs a lot. But like if you like talk to him, like you say, "Hey Jasper, what you doing?" Then he meows, and it's like the meow seems like it's fake. Like he's using a voice spot to like meow. Why is your meow so like feminine, dude?
Because his soul's been sucked out.
And it makes me laugh every time. I don't know why. That just cracks me up so much. It's like seeing like a huge ripped up guy, and he's like, "Hey guys."
Mike Tyson, yeah.
There you go. Exactly, like Mike Tyson. Perfect.
I'm still gonna get Destiny 2 though.
I'm not.
You never liked the first one, so.
I really liked the first one.
Yeah, he used to stream it
until they started siphoning more and more money out of me.
Actually, Beard is one of the streamers I used to watch that made me want to get the game finally.
Oh yeah, I used to stream that heavy.
Stan, I'm black. It's okay.
And like half the gameplay was you just hanging out in the social zones in the towers, just dancing.
We were trying to get a fucking group together to go do the raids.
Yeah, that still sucks to this day. I mean, they've got like the LFG, Blase Blah, and all this other crap. But I'm actually kind of glad they fixed that in Destiny 2 somewhat. So.
The LFG website is the reason I stopped playing that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I got the worst group of people multiple times. Like the worst possible raid groups you can imagine. I had back to back to back.
Wow.
And I'm like, nope, that's it. None of my friends jumped over to PS4 for this. I'm out. I moved on to other things.
I had a guy make a weed run during the raid, and he still stayed online via the PlayStation app, and he was threatening to kick people off. It was, I made a whole post about it a long time ago, and I mean, I've had good experience, but mainly it's just like bad experiences to the point where I'm like, I really don't want to raid with a group of people, but you know, thankfully I found some people to raid with on Twitter. But other than that, it's just, you know, it's extremely hard to try and get in contact with the community. And they're like, oh, well, the Destiny community has been blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, well, that's great and everything, but you've got a bunch of people carrying other people, which there's nothing wrong with that. But if you just have a community of carry and nobody that's like trying to actually actively look for a clan, then you got problems. It's only
that
about...
is the other thing. They went and fucked with the guns way too much.
Oh God, yeah. Ooh, easy.
Like that should have been left alone completely. You never listen to the players on that.
Yeah, because I think now the handguns are dominating.
Because you're always going to end up with something overpowering something else.
Wait, but the handguns have been good for a while though, like the Red Death and I don't know.
Red Death is a pulse rifle. You got like Last Word and
Last Word. That's what I meant. The Last Word and what's the one that does the dots on you?
Thorn.
The Thorn. There you go.
Probably Poison. Yeah.
Yeah. The Thorn, the Hawk Moon. I mean, they were always good.
Well,
but when they started nerfing other things, that's when that was another reason why I started pulling away from it.
I remember Thorn sucked in the beginning, though. It's like as hard that quest was just to get that one gun, it just wasn't worth it. Because
it's an exotic weapon.
Well, what are you doing?
I looked at it the same way I looked at the Borderlands guns. There were legendary guns that were garbage, but they were legendary. Just because it's legendary doesn't mean it's going to be good.
I mean, you're right about that, but Thorn was just like horrible. Especially the reload time.
They went back and fixed it to make it what it should have been.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Everyone can go and enjoy Destiny and Destiny 2. I'm not interested.
I figured
they didn't give me enough in Destiny 1 to want a Destiny 2.
Yeah.
I figured I played so much of Destiny 1, I might as well just, keep going.
But here's the thing, like, this, the tragic thing about it is Destiny does have a very strong community, and the people that play it, they're passionate about it, play it pretty much daily, right? And there's so many fan events around it, and the game has a lot of really good things, but it's like they fell short on so many fronts. Like, it's just about to get you over the edge, and they're like, oh, I'm tired. Like, oh, really?
Like story. Like plot.
Well, the plot did get better. The only good thing about the Dark Below was the Crota raid. After that, you had, House of Wolves, which I did enjoy the story of that. That was followed by...
And PoE, the Prison of Elders, is really fun.
Oh, Prison.
Yeah,
Prison of Elders was awesome.
That was part of House of Wolves, which, in my opinion, I think they had the weapons tuned to where I accepted it a little bit better because I got one of the best rolls into my weapons, which I'm still pissed about this day because I can't level those up. And then you had Taken King, which was... Taken King was decent. It wasn't the best in my opinion, but it was decent. But the one that really got me was the Rise of Iron, which I think is probably one of the best stories they have. So they got a little bit better in the story department.
I ducked out after House of Wolves.
Yeah, House of Wolves was...
we got more DLC coming that isn't covered by the season pass that you bought.
Yeah, that is one thing I was pissed off about. It's like, it's a season pass. Actually, Destiny's not the only game that did that.
I know, there were
Mortal Kombat.
Been a couple.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat with the Mortal Kombat X, then you got Mortal Kombat XL. It's like, but I bought a season pass.
But you would expect that from fighting games. They do that all the time. But
Capcom does that all the time.
Yeah, that's true. But
King of Fighters 14 or King of Fighters 14 sitting on my shelf. You know how many characters are in there? 52.
Oof.
You know how many DLC characters there were?
A cajillion.
4.
Oh, wow. Oh, it's on the other side.
That sounds like Capcom versus Marvel 3, where you downloaded either, was it Jill Valentine or Shimura Gorath? However you say his name?
Like that. Shimi Gorath, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the only good thing about that was you could transfer those two characters over to Ultimate in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but, that's about it. Buy a new game, get new characters.
Fighting games have been doing... It's Capcom's fault that fighting games suck.
Yeah. But back to Destiny, the thing is, a game that's that shallow in the content should extend the season pass, because those expansions are pretty skimpy on the depth, I'm sorry to say. It's just a lot of the same thing over and over again. That's why I did like Prison of Elder, because it was repetitive, but at least it was fun. It was like playing Smash TV. Smash TV. It was like Smash TV instead of Destiny. Like, let's go to clear up these rooms. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
It was different, and there were different things each time.
It reminded me of Firefight from Halo, or like a randomized version of Horde mode from Gears of War. It's just made it more interesting.
The thing though that astounds me is you have these social areas, you have emotes, right? And it's like, man, there's potential here. At certain points it started to remind me a little bit of Phantasy Star Online, and then and then there's nothing to
Wish
really.
it was like Phantasy Star Online.
Yeah, I know.
God, I know.
But like that's the thing, like they get so close, and then there's not like you have all this downtime where you can't do much, like because like
Phantasy Star Online was the definition of shallow gameplay.
But yet it was fun.
There was no story to be had. Hey, go find Red Ring Rico. Okay.
Yep, but
Why am I killing these robots?
it was fun though.
What's going on here? The thing was, once you see that first red box, it's over. They got their hooks in you.
Yeah,
You get that first legendary drop, and it's like, oh shit.
It was basically a loot run.
Yeah.
Right.
It becomes Borderlands 2. It was Borderlands 2 before Borderlands 2.
At least the story was better.
We have 700 weapons for you to find. Good luck. You can use some of them with this character. You'll have to make another character to use other ones. And you can get Dr. Eggman's blaster.
oh god, this is great.
Oh, I had so many. I went and hunted down so many of those weapons. And then when they took the servers offline, I cheated and got the rest of them.
Nice.
So good.
The nostalgia is real.
Shit, I might play that now.
But see, the thing I was gonna say is that, like, with all the downtime you have in Destiny, you would think they'd have like little mini games you could play in the social area to keep you like busy while you're.
Oh, they do. You have a soccer
group.
ball you can kick.
Oh yeah, the one soccer ball,
Climb on everything.
and then one asshole kicks it over the ledge into the abyss, and then it doesn't respawn for a while. Like, thanks, good job.
Sorry, I'm burping her.
Oh, I know. We know what that sounds like already.
At least she's calm. She's calm. So
I bought Bloodborne.
Baby hiccups
The
are so cute.
day I bought Bloodborne the day I brought my son home from the hospital. So I was playing Bloodborne while dealing with a screaming newborn.
yeah, that gets interesting.
So that game has
That
a
was
special.
whole new level of difficulty to that.
I could believe it. I remember I was doing
rage quit.
I was doing the upgraded or the updated Destiny raids when she. Let me see. Back when she could sleep in her little sleeper, because we had like a little portable bassinet. Just lay her down in that. Every time she woke up, just do a little things, do a couple little things. She go back to sleep, and I get right back to raiding.
Nice. Did you guys see the news about the Silver Sable and Black Cat movie?
Yeah, that was around the same time they dropped the Venom movie news.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about Silver Sable or Black Cat, but about the Venom movie. I didn't know I wanted it until they said Tom Hardy was going to be Venom.
Oh, I knew about it, but I had no idea it was going to be like that. Because, I mean, Tom Hardy is Venom. Oh, my God.
The only thing that it could go horribly wrong with is if they go with the anti-Venom storyline.
I doubt they'll do that. I doubt it. Anti-Venom seems like too clean and wishy-washy.
Are they going to really have a movie based around a bad guy? Are they really going to have it
Spider-Man
set
will
as a
not
villain?
make an appearance. Yes, Spider-Man will not make an appearance. This is a strictly Venom movie.
Then they have to do the anti-Venom storyline.
Nah, they don't have to. I mean, look at Ghost Rider. And I'm not saying it's going to be like Ghost Rider, but Ghost Rider, Thor. I mean, there's movies out there that didn't really have too much of a main. What's the word? I guess it's main villain or main purpose to make the movie, other than the fact that it's like, hey, it's Thor. Hey, it's the Hulk. Hey, it's Ghost Rider. That was the only reason they made those movies.
With Thor, they were building up to the Avengers and all of that.
True.
With Ghost Rider, I don't know why they made those.
Same thing with Blade. I mean, there was no real build-up for Blade, but they made a Blade movie. They just put together some bad guys and made it work.
But Blade's awesome.
He is. Venom also had, I think Venom, when he had his own comic book, he probably developed his own rogues gallery as well. Because there was a time that Venom was trying to be good. I mean, they'll probably make him like the anti-hero, because let's be real, Venom eats brains, for God's sake. And if you can't find chocolate, he's going to eat brains. That's what he does. But
man, he's a villain.
Yeah.
It just, I didn't know I wanted it until I saw they attached Tom Hardy's name to it, and then I'm like, I'll give it a shot.
Dude, Tom Hardy could make a Ronald McDonald movie. I wouldn't care. I'd watch it.
That already sounds great to me. If you put a Grimace in there and the Hamburglar, dude. Take my money, please.
Birdie.
I watched Logan last night.
I saw that too.
What'd y'all think about it?
That was soul crushing.
Yeah, that movie made me depressed.
I compared it to Mass Effect 3. Like, it takes everything you love and kills it.
Yeah,
I thought it was a better death than the comic book, and the way everything was put together. Even X-23 was.
She was so badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was kind of hoping that the only reason she wasn't talking was because she didn't understand English. But the fact that she could speak English and was just ignoring them the whole time,
yeah.
that was all right. It would have been fun. When she first goes off in full Spanish mode, I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah. That one was really good, man.
I will say this. I'm actually kind of happy that the Orange and New Black cast is branching out to other stuff, and they're not doing too bad. When compared to the Game of Thrones cast, because I don't think I like Game of Thrones, but I don't think the cast has made any good movies or good shows. Well, aside from Sean Bean, but anything outside of Game of Thrones is not that great.
Here's the problem with that type of actor. When you're in that big of a show, you're typecast at that point. That's it. That's what you are.
Well, I take that back a little bit. There are a few exceptions.
Well, look at the guys from Sons of Anarchy. They really... The guys who weren't established beforehand, like Ron Perlman, haven't done much. Not to any level of success. Because everyone sees them and instantly it's biker gang. Nothing else that they do is going to fit that. I
don't know. Charlie Hunnam's done pretty well. And the guy that played Juice, they put him in Luke Cage, which I think he fit in with that cast.
I forgot he was in Luke Cage, but Charlie Hunnam hasn't done anything to much success since
Pacific Rim.
That wasn't a success.
Shoot, I love that movie. I thought it did pretty well in the box office, but okay.
It didn't.
I thought it did. I'm sorry. I was too giant robot versus giant monster fanboyed over. I couldn't think. I'm like, oh my god, this is my movie.
Yeah, that shit's awesome. It didn't do well in the States, but that's because if it's not Godzilla, people don't have that brand recognition, so they're not going to care.
Yeah. Sad thing is, I didn't like the new Godzilla movie that much.
To keep making the new iteration of the Godzilla look like he has downs, it's like, why?
It's just a derpy lizard.
Derp lizard. Derp lizard.
Hey, you guys!
Just how lizards are now.
I know, right?
Oh, back to American Gods. You know who one of the actors is in the show?
Who is it?
Orlando Jones.
Oh, is he?
Mr. Nancy.
Yes.
I haven't watched it yet, but I know he's Mr.
Yeah.
Jones. The 7-Up guy?
Yeah, 7-Up yours. Make 7-Up yours, yeah. No, but he hasn't had as big of a role yet. So that's why I had to think about it for a second. But like one of the main character really, he played Lincoln on the 100. he's pretty good. I like him. And then, do you remember in Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events, the girl that played Violet? Anybody?
Nope, never saw it.
Mm-mm.
Damn.
Same here, never saw it.
Well, she's in it too, and she's all grown up. So, yeah.
I've been very selective with the movies that I see.
I've been very behind on those because I remember I told myself earlier this month, like, Alien Covenant's going to come out on the 19th. I'm going to see it on the 19th. I'll probably see it on Thursday night. I'm going to see this movie. Can't wait to see this movie. All of a sudden, I'm still talking about the movie, and it's like a week after the movie came out.
Let me let you in on a little secret. You have a newborn.
Yeah,
You're
but
never going to see a movie again.
Says you. I got ways.
Well, at least not in a movie theater.
Before.
Yeah.
That's okay. If I have to, I'll wait till it comes out and I'll buy it.
Yeah, because you don't want to be that guy that brings the crying baby to the theater. That's a good way to be ostracized.
Never do that. Who?
No,
I don't understand. I don't understand the logic behind that.
There is no logic. You just because people are so entrenched in their own world that they don't really think about other people around them.
Yeah,
like the people that like to text message during the movie, or the people that say the stupidest things during the movie. Because I'll never forget, I saw AVP and this one kid stood up. I don't even know why the kid was in the theater. He sounded like he was in middle school without his parents. Like, man, that's some really strong blue stuff. It's like, yes, he got the strongest Kool-Aid he can find. Put a bunch of sugar in there, and that's what's dissolving everything. Just
sometimes I get a real good laugh out of the stuff people say. People talking during a movie doesn't bother me. People texting during a movie doesn't bother me. But a crying baby, no, get the fuck out.
Yeah,
that is unacceptable.
Leave now.
You accept the fact that you have a child and can no longer see the movies, or you get a fucking babysitter.
Yeah,
you inconsiderate fuck.
Yeah, mainly the second one. He tipped his hat. Beard tipped his hat.
How?
Good day, sir.
Don't they have an Uber for babysitting yet?
I'm sure they do. Could they already have the Uber for delivery service and the Uber carpool?
I know the Uber delivery thing is rolling out slowly.
They have Uber Fluffer. I know that's the thing too.
Oh wow! I know the Roadie app is that delivery thing, and then you got one for stuff that if you need help around the house, you can call them. They're supposedly licensed and all this other stuff in there.
There has to be an Uber for babysitting at this point. So you just fucking call them up or text whatever, beepity boop, whatever.
Boopity boop.
Get a babysitter. And boom, you're good. You're golden. There you go.
I like that sound effect, beepity boop. That we need to make that sound bite.
All technology makes.
Yeah, beepity boop. I love that. I love when he does that. My remote control R2D2 does that because you can make him talk. Like a little button you push, and he does one of the things he does. He says spins in a circle, and then runs off in the corner, like one direction, and like really fast. And it scares the kids and the pets. It's pretty funny. I can't even do it because if I do it, I'll blow your ears off. But yeah, R2 for the shizzles. Hey, Stan's still here. Here you are.
I got your book, Stan. I got Kindle Unlimited, so I downloaded it. I'm going to read it.
Yeah, I was talking about that at the top of the show, too. Stan Faryna, Faryna, available on Amazon and wherever good books are sold. If you go to a bookstore and they don't have it, then they're not a good bookstore.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got to say on that.
Exactly.
So, Beer, did you have any other news items? Or are we about ready to wrap up? Or WarChild?
Did you cover Square Enix chopping off the one of the only games that was
IO Interactive? They're selling IO.
Yeah,
that's stupid.
They're selling Hitman. Yeah,
that makes no sense. No sense.
Why did you do that?
Well,
Ever since Enix came into the mix, they've destroyed everything and anything that they touch. That's what it is. It is Enix,
crazy.
and they are a blight.
They should have kept it soft. They should have kept it soft.
Well, I was talking about how Hitman actually did really well considering what a tough time it released in. Like it was completely profitable, you know?
Yeah, it was surprisingly successful, and they still decided, nah.
I just realized how weird that sounded whenever I said it.
Like there are a couple of bad choices away from being the next Konami.
Ooh.
They should have kept it soft.
The Justice Monster pachinko machine, that's going to be their future.
I'm so mad. And then you got Metal Gear Zombies. I don't know how to feel about that.
Don't feel good about it. Don't buy it. Don't touch it.
I'm not even. Shoot. I'm not.
Konami can burn. Unless they give me a 2D Castlevania like Symphony of the Night. And then I'll be happy with them again.
I like Symphony of the Night was good. I would really love to see another Area of Sorrow or another game like that.
Give me Soma again.
Oh, that was awesome.
Especially when you turn into Dracula if you do it the right way.
Oh, yep. That and what was the other? I just love whenever you turn into one of the summons. So like you just got this giant thing going across the screen, or you turn into a bat, or just so much. That game was it rocked so much.
That was when mobile games were still, or handheld games were still king of the pile.
Yeah.
Back in the Game Boy Advance day.
Well, I played mine on emulator, but even still, I borrowed.
It's all right. I bought 2 copies of it. One of them was for you.
There you go. It all balances out.
Yeah, that
I
works.
did buy 2 copies of that game because my first one got wet.
Oh,
because
man.
My Game Boy ended up in the laundry hamper in the bathroom.
Say no more.
And then I ended up with. Then I got a Game Boy Advanced SP after that.
I'm actually thinking about going back and buying a Game Boy.
The SP is definitely worth having it.
If you're gonna buy one, buy a DSi.
Yeah, that's a good call too.
Because you can play all the pre-3D DS games, and you can play all the advanced games.
Nice.
So the nice thing about the SP though is it's so compact. You can play while I was laying down, and you don't get the wicked wrist cramps.
That's not
and
bad.
It was backlit, which was beautiful.
Yeah, adjustable no less.
Yeah. What was the game that came after Area of Sorrow? I met another one that I didn't get a chance to play.
There was one for the DS. See, there was Harmony of Dissonance, Aria of Sorrow,
Order of Ecclesia.
Yeah, that was the DS one.
Okay.
That's the one that the bloodstained looks a lot like.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
The last one I played was like this zoomed out 3D or this zoomed out version of Castlevania. Can't remember what it was called, but it was kind of weird.
Was it the Lord of Shadows one?
Nah, this one was still a sprite game, 2D sprite. It had Soma, it had Alucard. I think it had a couple of Belmonts in it. And
it might have been. I think it was Harmony of Dissonance. Let me check.
It was multiplayer too, so you could play with more than one person.
Ooh.
And you had to beat the clock, or you had to beat the level before the clock ran out.
Did it have
I can't remember the name of it.
Did it have a boss rush mode?
No, I mean you technically had to rush to get to the boss.
Oh, okay. That's not the one I think then. Not Portrait of Ruin.
Nah, it wasn't that.
I got nothing.
I wish I could remember what it was. They put it on the Xbox.
Captain N, the Game Master. That's what it is, right?
Curse of Darkness, Portrait of Ruin.
That's what it is?
I'm just spitballing here. These are the ones that all have come out.
Yeah, Portrait of Ruin I remember very well. The Portrait of Ruin, the only thing it had was the boss rush mode and the online shop. The online shop was cool because you would leave your DS on, and then it'll like host a like little kind of like server, and people would come in and out of your shop to buy stuff. It's pretty neat.
I don't think that was. You know what? I have to look it up. When I do, I'll let y'all know. Next time on Geeky Antics.
But the Game Boy Advanced ones were Circle of the Moon, which came out with the SP, I believe. That was the one where you were Belmont with a whip. That one was all right. Harmony of Dissonance was... Yeah, Harmony of Dissonance was, I think, the first one with Soma. And then Aria of Sorrow was the second one, I believe.
I thought it was...
I've got all of those.
And then Dawn of Sorrow.
Got that too. Dude, I just realized how excessive...
Darkness.
Curse of Darkness I don't think I have. I just realized how excessive my Castlevania collection is.
Hey, if you like your game series, you like your game series.
Yeah, it just worked out that way.
That's what makes you a gamer.
The 2D Castlevania games were the best.
Yeah.
I can't think of another franchise that constantly pumped out good games.
Yeah.
In the same style.
Metal Gear. Well, yeah, I'd go with Metal Gear because
even then, Metal Gear didn't have nearly as many good quality games that came out.
I mean, yeah, you did have a couple of games that were questionable, like what was it, Metal Gear Acid, I think. But other than that,
Revengeance.
I like Revengeance.
It's just a stupid name for a game, just to start.
It was actually supposed to be Metal Gear Revengeance. Then, I mean, they had like a whole switches. That's one of the main reasons why it got so confusing, because they switched, I think, from Konami to another company, which was the name of the company escapes me, but they make pretty good games. But yeah, they just kept switching too much. That's the main problem.
Meh.
It almost got caught in development hell.
Probably should have.
Well, says you.
Says me.
Happy to disagree with you again, Beard. It's been a long time.
That's fine. It's been a while.
I know.
So the only thing that exchange tells me is that one of you is a really big Raiden fan and the other one is not.
Actually, the gameplay of the game is what really kept me playing. I mean, Raiden is, man, really, if they would have... I'm not a Metal Gear fan. Well, there you go, that too. But really, if they would have did Ninja Gaiden like that, was the third one where they took out the blood and all the other stuff, which didn't make any sense, because after Ninja Gaiden and Ninja Gaiden 2, they're like, no, we need to tone it down. Just take all the blood out and, just replace it with what's never been done before. Sweat. Yeah, they've never done that before. It was just... But then they got smart and they made Ninja Gaiden Yaiba, I think. Something like that. Maybe Sigma was when they brought it back, because they did go back and redo Ninja Gaiden 3, and actually they put the blood back in there. But they also did almost like an anime, if I remember right, version of Ninja Gaiden, where they kept all the good stuff in there, and it looked twice as 10 times more bad donkey. Because I can't say what I want to say because the daughter's in my arms.
She's too young to understand. Keep going.
I think it was Ninja Gaiden Yaiba. I think that's what it was called. But man,
Ninja Gaiden in black?
No, this was I gotta look these games up for y'all, man. I'm telling you. I'm bringing up these games nobody remembers.
I'm like the worst person when it comes to recalling anything. Movie quotes, music, like names of artists.
Ninja Gaiden Z.
Yeah.
Came out in 2014.
Yep. That was the one.
Don't worry, I got you.
I appreciate that.
Word.
My bearded brother.
All right.
Don't worry.
I'm starting to fade, my friends. I'm enjoying the conversation, but I think we should probably wrap it up. So, this is the part of the show where you share where you can find everybody so you can stalk us. So, starting with Beard, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at BeardandHat. That's about it. If I do anything else, you'll hear it there.
Cool.
Oh, and they opened this new cheese restaurant in New Haven that you'll see.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
I'm surprised you didn't.
I'm gonna be fat and broke and drunk on cheese.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Gonna be awesome.
Lactose and loving it.
I'm gonna have to like scoop up WarChild and Tuca, and we'll take a road trip or something. WarChild, where can people find you?
Tired. But other than that, you can find me at WarChild Games on Twitter, and WarChildGames.com is my website. Currently, I'm a little behind on that for good reason, but I have made a post recently about Destiny 2 and how my take on the live stream and what I feel about it. Check it out. And you can always find me on geekyantics.net.
Word. And I'm Yogizilla everywhere. These days, mostly on Twitter. But you can also find me on things like Xbox Live and Battle.net. I'm Yogizilla. Yogizilla pound 1722 on there. What else? I'm on the Facebooks. I'm on the Instagram. Yeah, just Google me, Bing me, whatever.
Quick question about that. Battle.net, is the 20 characters thing over with for Heroes of the Storm? Please
I'm not sure. They're still running some promos for sure. I know they have some free gifts if you log in now. So, as a matter of fact, Chris Gannon from Gaming Death is playing that. Ice Crowney's playing that. Some other people playing it. Ratatat and his wife. A bunch of us. I gotta get back into it myself. I love that game.
His wife Ratata?
The Ms. Ratatata.
Eradicate.
Eradicate.
I can't believe I'm still playing that game every now and then. I've been stuck on Clicker Heroes. I'm sorry, you were ending. Continue.
Nope, that's all I got. But next week, hopefully, I would like us to at least watch one episode of American Gods and compare our thoughts. Or actually, a couple episodes, because I want to see what you guys think about it, because it's out there.
I will find a way to watch it.
I'll get a hold of it and watch it at work. I got an extra shift next week. I can do that.
There you go.
Do the same. I got a lot more leniency.
Just remember, you may want to turn your brain off and not think too much. Just go along for the ride, because it's pretty zany stuff.
I like zany.
Zany's always good.
And with that, folks, this has been HorsePLAY Live, episode 180, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Good to be back. Peace.
Bye.